So she does this cover story. And again, I would submit that the nerve is beginning to move the needle in the culture in our very young life. Because what struck me about this piece, many things, but we've offered quotes from Stedman, who we are still searching for Stedman. We do not believe that Stedman is necessarily alive, okay, any longer. But Oprah, and she submits in this People magazine piece, which People magazine in like alternative media has often been referred to as knee pads magazine, because they are so servile when it comes to celebrities and the stories they like to tell. Her own relationships, I am quoting from the article, including with her longtime partner Stedman Graham, 74, who's been, quote, nothing but supportive no matter what her weight. Now, this quote is not attributed, which says to me that Oprah told people that Stedman has been nothing but supportive. And then Winfrey's longtime hairstylist gives a quote that is relegated to a photo caption on the bottom of this page here. Steady support is the headline of the caption. They're there for each other, says Winfrey's longtime hairstylist, Nicole Mangrum, of Winfrey's nearly 40-year relationship with Graham. I mean, if by there for each other, you mean that Oprah tends to the grave that she freshly dug with Gail for Stedman's remains, either in Maui or Montecito, it's got to be one of the two. Sure. I mean, I have no idea why Stedman isn't quoted here directly, why he couldn't just shoot an email from his own email account. I mean, I think the email account is just dormant. As discussed, we emailed Stedman back in October, I believe, saying, "Hey, are you okay, man? Are you alive?" And we have yet to hear anything. Okay, now what else is in here that oh my God, this is amazing. So Winfrey has to take her shots weekly, she says. Now, as discussed, and we are going to continue covering this, especially the next time Jillian Michaels is here, because on Tuesday, I believe it was yesterday, Wegovy went on sale in pill form. So the cultural pressure for everyone to get on this stuff, even if you have like a stubborn 5 or 10 pounds to lose, is going to be extreme. And we here at The Nerve exist to say resist, unless you are morbidly obese like Alina Dunham, who, based on the images she's just been posting to Instagram, I believe is now on a GLP-1. And she should be, because the comorbidities that would come along with her morbid obesity, the risks far outweigh the benefits, I think. Anyway, so this is what Winfrey says. Because we're going to back to a conversation we had with Jillian. I thought of this immediately. Okay, sometimes Winfrey says, quote, I can go 10 or 12 days because I still feel the effects of the week before, meaning she can go that long between shots. Side effects, people reports, have been minimal, to which I say, Jillian reminded us of Oprah being hospitalized last year for 3 or 4 days. That is a very long time. If you have to go to the hospital, they are hell-bent on getting you out of there as soon as possible, A, to free up a bed, but also B, hospitals are actually the worst place for sick people to be. So something went awry. And I know people who have done Ozempic and who have regretted it dearly. The damage that has been done to their internal organs, how sick they were on it. These are the stories the mainstream media will not tell you, because guess who their biggest advertisers are? These GLP-1 companies. Okay. Now this is amazing. There are 2 other things about this. First of all, she says that now, before she used to hate exercise and she would never do it. Now she works out 6 days a week for about 2 hours. Okay, you tell me the average person working who can carve out that amount of time in any given week to devote to exercise. Okay, stop it. Just stop it. It's the GLP-1. It's the kitchen, not the gym. Really, that's what it is. Secondly, she says that another unexpected difference about being on a GLP-1 is that she no longer has a desire for alcohol. Now, she said she sounds like a hardcore alcoholic. She says here, you know how doctors have this sort of undiscussed rule in their world, which is when they ask a patient how much they drink in any given week, the doctor will double it on their paperwork. So this is what she says publicly, which leads me to believe she had double the amount. She says, and I quote, "I was a big fan of tequila. I literally had 17 shots one night." 17 shots of tequila in a night. I mean, that's the kind of consumption when like frat pledges die during hazing, you hear they were forced to consume like that amount of alcohol. So she could really put it away. And her tolerance level was like, I mean, ask Gail. It was out of this world, right? So Marlena found this amazing clip of Oprah on Kelly Ripa. This was back when Kelly was with Ryan Seacrest, before Ryan got on a GLP-1. And he looked better before. He looked healthy. Okay, here she is talking to Kelly and Ryan in 2018 on that morning chat show about how she again, Oprah has to be the best at everything. She makes the best margarita, even though Kelly is married to a man of Mexican heritage. And listen to what she says very closely. Here we go.
For the cast and crew, you were making margaritas.
I am a stone good margarita maker.
Wow.
And I hear I might have some competition.
My husband, Mark, who I know you know very well, he makes an incredible...
Does he squeeze his own limes?
He squeezes his own limes on top once it's blended.
Oh, no,
he
no,
makes
no,
a frozen...
no.
Yes.
No.
It's a family recipe. It's a family...
But
from Mexico.
Okay.
It's from Mexico.
Okay.
Oprah goes on to say that her tone and tenor. Okay. Oh, your husband, his family's from Mexico, like, where they originated the margarita. Okay, but like, I'm still right. Oprah says, she goes on to say in that segment that she only adds lime juice to the tequila. So that is not a margarita. She is just drinking straight tequila shots. Okay. Now, Oprah has lied so much. My opinion, based on everything I've read and watched in her story about losing weight, which like we have just lived with for decades, and I think much as Meghan Markle has used staff defections and resignations as a deflection from what the real scandal is, the real story, which is that her father is languishing in a hospital in the Philippines with his leg freshly amputated, and she doesn't give a fuck. In sum and substance, that's what we've been told. She doesn't give a fuck. That I think Oprah uses the weight as a deflection from Where's Stedman? Okay. So anyway, and then Oprah. So Marlena also found this clip, and I was like, I marvel at your memory. She found this clip from Saturday Night Live. This goes back to 1992. It's Rob Schneider with Jerry Seinfeld playing a version of Jeopardy, and there is an Oprah category that will have you on the floor. Here we go.
The final category is Oprah. And the final question is, Oprah, what is with her? Your answer is, she's fat, she's thin, she's fat, she's thin. I mean, come on, pick a body and go with it. That is right. You are great.
I've never liked Jerry Seinfeld more. I really haven't. And Rob is great in that clip too. And it's been ever thus, right? It's been ever thus. Now I believe that, and Oprah's got a new book out too that she's shilling, which was with the co-author, which means the co-author did all the writing, and Oprah smacked her name on it, and she probably wrote a forward, and that's it. So don't buy the book. I think that Oprah has clearly made a deal with the devil, and I do mean with Satan. Like she has. And that would track because, I often refer to her as a very dark force in the culture. And I do believe she is a dark, dark force in the culture. Her her promoting last year vigorously with sustained effort of Liz Gilbert and her memoir, in which Liz Gilbert wrote about legitimately plotting to murder her girlfriend by swapping out her chemo pills with something much stronger and then waiting till she was unconscious to smother her to death with a pillow. And Oprah says to Liz, wow, you really went through something. You know, Oprah's really fucked up. Okay, she's really fucked up. And, you know, she successfully has had a lot of the Oprah show before she turned into like, I'm all about like love and light, and I'm going to tell everybody how to self-actualize, and I'm going to give away cars. I don't know how you square like gross materialism like that with spirituality, but, you know, it's for another time. She had like her show originally was very tabloid, was very dark. And even though she's had a lot of it successfully scrubbed from the internet, many troublemakers have come forward and said, Maureen, remember this, remember this, remember this. And so we've got this like really ongoing archival search through the days of the Oprah show. And this, by the way, is also, you listen to the pitch of her voice here, it was much higher. She talks about like having a vocal coach telling her she had to lean in later on in life. But I remember this, that she had to lean in to going really deep with her voice, like really deep. And I think it goes towards darkness, really, towards the gravitational pull of darkness. So anyway, all that is to say, you are not going to believe this clip. It is real. It is a real clip from the Oprah Winfrey Show in 1989. I actually think if you have kids in the room, you might want to pause this or just put earbuds in or come back to it later if you're watching. She is interviewing women who are claiming without a shred of irony that they worship Satan and that they have been ritually sacrificing human beings, and that they actually secretly have been, I mean, I won't even tell you, you got to hear it out of this woman's mouth. And also just check out Oprah's like totally casual receipt of this information and lack of pushback. Here we go.
What kinds of things went on in the family? Well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to, you know...
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in our family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not, or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back.
How the FBI doesn't get involved immediately is beyond me. How Oprah did not sit and have a serious, I mean, maybe she did, I doubt it, pre-production, post-production debates about whether this episode should ever see the light of day or whether they should call law enforcement. But Oprah wants to be, Queen of America, Queen of the Western world, and to get rich by telling all of us how to live. And I'm telling you, that's the real Oprah Winfrey. That's the Oprah Winfrey who wouldn't open her road in Maui as residents were fleeing by order of the government, a potential volcano. She wouldn't do it. She finally was forced to, but like she's a dark person. She never said a word against Diddy. I don't think she's ever really said a word against Harvey as a person. I mean, she came out as like she wanted to be queen of Me Too as well. But this is who Oprah is. And so I fucking hate Oprah. And again, one of the Nerve's many missions, we're just going to keep peeling back the bullshit. Okay. And that's it. That's it for today's edition of The Nerve. Oh, wait, Marlene is going to kill me. She also found this Austin Powers clip, which she thought would be the perfect coda to Oprah's very casual receipt of the information that these monsters were claiming that they were secretly breeding babies for the sole purpose of sacrificing them to Satan. Here we go.
Baby, the other white meat. Baby, it's what's for dinner.
Baby, it's what's for dinner. Hey, you know what? Maybe part of Oprah's weight loss isn't just down to the Ozempic. Maybe Oprah stopped eating babies herself. There's probably too many carbs in a baby. As the weather gets colder, blood pressure tends to rise. This is due to a variety of factors: narrowing blood vessels, increased salt cravings, and less physical activity. But here's the good news. You have the power to take control naturally with 120 Life. 120 Life is a blend of great tasting superfruit juices that can actually help lower your blood pressure naturally. 120 Life is formulated with ingredients that have been shown to support healthy blood pressure levels. It's trusted by over 1,000 health professionals and used by people just like you who have seen real measurable results. You can try it yourself risk-free with their 2-week trial. Just go to 120life.com and use code NERVE, that's NERV, to save 15%. You can track your progress with a simple blood pressure monitor and watch your numbers drop. Feel the difference. Plus, it is completely risk-free. If you don't see lower numbers in 2 weeks, you get your money back. So you have nothing to lose but high blood pressure numbers. Go to 120life.com. That's 120life.com. And remember to use code NERVE to save 15%. This is serious. This is your life we're talking about. And 120 Life can help. Don't wait. Take control of your health today.